All right. You ready for this, buddy?
Of course, my man.
Cool.
Let's get it.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Positive Shit Show. Hey. Look at my beautiful shirt. Look at my beautiful shirt. It says Positive Shit Show. Wait. You want to see it from the back? Oh, I smacked my mic. It also says Positive Shit Show on it. This is the merch.
Pretty nice.
This is the merch. The merch is linked in the description, but this is the merch. Chris is also receiving his soon enough. We have t-shirts. We have hoodies. It's beautiful as heck. It's comfy as. I've been living in this hoodie. I'm not gonna lie. I've worn it at least once for the past 5 days, like once a day. Which
and
really,
it's hoodie season, so enjoy.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Every time I have to go out, I'm like, oh no, I have to put a hoodie on. Wouldn't it be good to wear a hoodie that says Positive Shit Show to attract the eyes of strangers while I walk in the grocery store? But welcome back, everybody. We're your co-hosts, Seb and Chris. I don't know. For this week's episode, we were trying to think about a good subject, and we actually Chris came up with the idea of social media. The reason being, I'm the more social media savvy person between the two of us, obviously, as I'm on almost everything, and Chris is on everything I'm not on, which is Twitter.
Pretty much.
So today we're talking about social media. We're gonna break down what it is, what it isn't. I don't know, everything that comes with it. Maybe little tips for social media. I don't fucking know. Yeah. We'll see where the conversation goes. I've now officially started a timer. So Chris, why Twitter?
Well, for me, Twitter is the main area where I get most of my information. So I do follow a lot of journalists, a lot of sport leagues, a lot of teams. So usually it's like a direct link from me to whoever I'm following, and I get the source from that person. So it's mostly me trying to get information from many sources. That's usually where I get it from, Twitter, because it's pretty fast and it's pretty efficient. And if they have anything, they have a direct link to it. And it just works for me because I don't need to go through many things. I'm following the people I need to follow, and I find what I need to find. And for me, it's a more practical tool, you know?
I'm surprised that you're not like a Reddit guy. Because I feel like people that enjoy Twitter would enjoy Reddit.
That's true. I don't go that much on Reddit. I do have an account on it, but mostly like for niche things, like once again, like Monster Hunter, like groups and all that type of stuff, because that's the type of stuff I like going on, and just having that type of those type of people who enjoy the same type of things and having tips and all that. That's mostly what I go on Reddit for. Like I said, it's mostly like Twitter on my end, but you're right. Reddit too is the type of place I go to as well.
They're pretty similar. I feel like
exactly.
Reddit's just a different Twitter. I only end up on Reddit when I Google something, and the Reddit is the first thing that pops up, and I'm like, yeah, people on Reddit are kind of legit sometimes.
And
I just check it out, and I'll read whatever is on there. There's a lot of things on Reddit for like streaming, so that's usually where I end up on Reddit for if I'm looking up, why is my stream broken? And then Reddit's got the answer.
Someone on Reddit.
Someone on Reddit. Yeah, they're like, oh, this is why. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I used to be on Twitter, but like, I think the last time I used Twitter, other than like my fake attempt at creating a new Twitter in 2018, which I think I was on Twitter for one day and then I was like, fuck this. I don't care. But I used to be on Twitter until like college. Like in college, I was on Twitter. I remember tweeting stupid shit. And it was just that. It was just like Twitter was a junk for my thoughts.
Yeah.
Just like a place to trash
all my... That's what it is also for like celebrities. Sometimes like you see them writing stuff, it'll most often be through Twitter. Yeah. And, you know, people kind of make mistakes on there as well that they probably regret later on. But
it is a risky social media to be on.
Yeah.
Why, like, I guess just, did you never feel drawn to anything else? Like Instagram?
I know that's the first thing that everybody asks me. They're like, why don't you have Instagram? Because I'm probably one of the few people in this world that does not have an Instagram account. But like I said, everything for me is what's the use of it? What's the purpose of it? For most people, Instagram is to share their creativity, to share their art, to express themselves through photography. For me, I don't do photography. I'm not really someone who necessarily does anything that's too creative necessarily to share with other people. So for me, it doesn't have really a use in that sense. So that's why I don't have an Instagram account. And when it comes to other social media like Facebook and everything, well, when we were young, it was something that was used more often. But nowadays, like Facebook is pretty much dead because of multiple reasons. But in general, Instagram I don't use because to me it doesn't have any like actual use. You know.
Yeah. I'm convinced that the only reason Facebook still has so many users is only because of chat, like only because of Messenger.
Yeah, that was true.
Because that is the
Messenger.
literal only reason I still have an account on there. I've
Yeah,
thought about deleting
same.
it. I don't feel the silliest thing, okay, that's happened, which is a real freaking thing.
Mm.
I feel closer to the thousands of strangers that follow me on Instagram and on TikTok and on Twitch than I do the actual real life people that I know on Facebook.
Oh yeah. Well,
Um,
I can understand that.
It's a fucking weird thing, and I've wanted
Yeah.
to delete it forever because it's been blurring the lines of what are friends.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, what is a friend? These people I grew up with, or I went to school with, or I met as an adult, and I considered them friends, and we were friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
But then I meet a bunch of strangers now over the internet, and I'm like, wait, no, these are actually friend interactions that I'm having.
Yeah.
And if I post anything on Facebook, no one gives a shit. I'm doing good with my life. I'm obviously succeeding at doing things that I want to do for myself. And no one on Facebook gives an actual fuck. And I'm like, what are friends? Like, why do I still have Facebook? I've wanted to delete it.
I see it more as like instead of calling them necessarily friends, I see it more as acquaintances. You know, in that sense, where you still keep some type of contact with that person, but it isn't necessarily personal at that point. It's like keeping tabs on someone, I guess. Like you have a friend that you had way back then that you kept tabs on, basically whenever you would be able to contact them once again. That's why I feel Facebook is useful for nowadays, is just to make sure that if you do have something that comes up and you do want to contact someone, well, I guess maybe Facebook is the way to go. But like I said, I don't have Instagram or anything, so maybe that's the way to go nowadays.
I think Instagram. I still hate it. I mean, they're owned by the same person, so
yeah.
Let's be honest here. I still don't enjoy Instagram anymore. I like Instagram for one. Well, first of all, for DMs, it's a much cleaner. Like, you know, if TikTok had solid DMs, then maybe I would just be on TikTok. But the DMs on TikTok suck ass, and I keep losing all of them. So like I push people to usually send me a DM on Instagram because that's better. Yeah. So other than like a good DM, a good way to converse with others, and stories, which is a really good way to thought dump, dump my thoughts on the. I like it. I don't know. It's a little 1 minute video. I can tell you what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking today. You see it for 24 hours and it's gone. Other than stories and fucking DMs, I still don't care about Instagram. And I'm a photographer. Like I do self-photography. I do self-portraits. And I haven't felt like doing it because I haven't cared. Like Instagram is such a false algorithm. Yeah. It's such a big lie. And I feel like there's no value there. There's no, because even if you do get views, it's just because Instagram did it to get you addicted. Like, when they came up with Reels, okay, Reels is I don't know if you know this.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Reels is like the Instagram version of TikTok. Yeah. They tried to do like they did. Stories was only on Snapchat first, and then they fucking took it, and boom, Instagram had it. Messenger was the same, and now boom, they have it. But then again, that's owned by the same person, so it makes sense. And then now it's the same. TikTok, another really good app, a great app. And what did they do? They had to copy and have their own version. But Reels is all bullshit because it's a false algorithm that doesn't care at all about your engagement. They will show you to thousands of people for one reason and one reason only. You see the number of people that saw it, and you are hooked because it's addicting to think, wow, 2,000 people saw this when no one usually sees my shit. Yeah. And it's such a like evil way of doing something. Get them addicted. Get them addicted. I don't care. No matter what. I hated that when I posted, and I tried it out. I tried out Reels the first time, like when it started. I posted two of my TikToks that fit within the 15 seconds because it's only 15 seconds instead of a minute on Reels. So I posted 2 TikToks. One of them had actual great engagement. People enjoyed that reel. And it didn't get shown. Like I think it was like meh. and the other one had 10 likes, and I had thousands of views on it. And I was like, your algorithm is bullshit. You're just trying to get me hooked. Like, I
So
know
do
that
you
a
think
view
that
is,
it only posts, for instance, like quantity over necessarily quality, in the sense that
they'll
maybe
just
something
show
would be
it.
really nice,
They,
something would be really creatively done and really interesting to look at, but because it doesn't fit certain criterias, do you feel that maybe will get less views, or you don't really know?
I don't know
You don't know how
why
they
they
really.
choose to, but like the fact that there was no, because I don't care that you show it to none. Well, no, I do care if they show it to no one. But like, I don't care that you show it to, let's say, a normal amount of people or a fucking extra crazy amount of people. If
Mm,
there is no engagement to back it up, I call bullshit on your algorithm.
mm,
Like if there's engagement, there is such a system. Engagement rate is a real thing. People have been going with their engagement rate for every app, for
mm,
everything. You can calculate based on likes and comments, and you can see, oh, based off of how many people saw this many people liked it, this many people left a comment, this many people shared it or saved it. These are like actual tangible stats. When none of the engagement is there and I get thousands of views, that's when I'm like, you are just trying to get me addicted because you're trying to play the creator. You're not just
yeah,
trying to play the consumer that's consuming this stuff. You're trying to play the creator, because if you get the creator hooked, then you get free content on your app and you make more money off of creators.
yeah,
That's another thing too. That's a subject we can touch on. But like, I'm aware of the machine and how the
yeah.
machine works and multiple things. I like nerding out and doing my research. And apps make
No,
a
you
lot of
realize a
money
lot.
based off of
Yeah,
us,
of course, of course.
And the more I become an actual creator, which I am, I think, but the more I become an actual creator on social medias, the more I'm like, I see where I get played.
Yeah.
And it's a question of like where I accept to get played versus not.
Mm,
And 100% Reels was false stats just because they were trying to hook people.
mm,
Still on TikTok is very different. Like my algorithm will be based off of a few things. Well, I mean, everyone's algorithm is, we all work within the algorithm, but like
mm.
my engagement will be based off of a few things, or at least how well my videos do. Because there's still so many things that are unknown about the algorithm. Obviously, you don't just give the answer of the algorithm to everyone, because
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, what's the point of this? Because everyone would just do exactly what needs to be done,
Yeah.
and millions of views. But like, there's a bunch of things. There's view time. View time seems to be the most important one on TikTok. It's, if people watch your video longer, your video is going to be seen more. You'll get
Mm,
more views. Like your video will get pushed to more people's For You page.
yeah.
But I still find it strange how certain accounts, like my account, for a video to do well, whether it does well or not, view time or not, I have an average of 25 to 30% engagement rate, which is high for
Yeah.
social media. It's very high. And meanwhile, like I'll see videos with like millions of views and millions of likes, and they'll have a 10% engagement rate. And then I'm like, so
What's the
like
what's the
what,
cause of that?
where is view time more valuable than how much? And I'm not hating on those videos. I
Yeah.
just know that my videos have to work extra hard, because
Mm.
25% sometimes isn't enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes
That was exactly what I was gonna ask you, in the sense also, is seeing certain things like that. Do you feel sometimes pressured, or necessarily like more inclined to produce certain content that does get more viewership?
I mean, like you get boxed into it. Like, so
Mm.
TikTok is absolutely horrible for this. They'll box you into
Yeah.
something. You do one thing, and if you do something else, TikTok goes, "What the fuck are you doing, my friend? This is not what your page shows normally. This is not what I will show to people. What do you want me to do with this? I don't know what to do with this. Your only videos that do well are about you and a flower. Like, why would I show you and a puppy?" I don't know. I was just, off the top of my head. But it really is. So it boxes you
Yeah.
in. When I was virtual boyfriend, I was boxed in. It was virtual boyfriend. But really, virtual boyfriend was an acting POV, which is a very broad category on TikTok. But if I made a video and called it an acting POV, it wouldn't be shown. And then I was like, but that's exactly what virtual boyfriend is. It's
Yeah.
the same. I'm acting and it's a POV. But it's like, that was my box. And I hated it. I was so happy that I got out of it. So yes, I was creating content because the app wanted me to create that content. I pushed Virtual Boyfriend further than I ever should. I should have stopped it much sooner. But I'm glad I finally retired the character, because it's allowed me to move on to other things and try new things. And I think a lot of people understood that I was ready to move on from Virtual Boyfriend. But you're still boxed in. Like, I want to show more of our podcast. I want to show the podcast, but if I share a clip from our podcast, it crashes within 30 seconds.
And
I showed a
clip.
clip.
I feel too. I feel like, for instance, you know, you're talking about this concept of like being in a box. I guess it's almost the same thing for the person who's also viewing the video. Maybe they do want to see something that's different, but because they're being put in a certain category or a certain box, that's the only thing that's being also like presented to them, right? So maybe
yes and no. No, for sure. You have a solid point. But the interesting thing as a consumer, as a viewer, that happens when you're on TikTok, your For You page kind of evolves with the content. So the new trends are usually what you'll see on your For You page, the most viewed things, and then you'll see that people you follow, blah blah blah. But your For You page is very much a rollout of the currently ongoing things that are trending, or videos that are doing well. So as much as, yes, you tend to be shown the same thing. Like, I myself can say I'm on mental health TikTok, because first of all, that's the content I put out, but it's also the content I watch a lot and I like and I interact with. I'll leave comments on those videos. And so TikTok knows I like mental health and or videos about that, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm on mental health TikTok. It's like, it's fun ways of saying that. There was Draco Talk not so long ago that was trending because Tom Felton is on TikTok and everyone was like losing their minds, making cool videos. And there was a whole bunch of, I just bit my cheek. There was a whole bunch of different videos about it. It was like, some of them were acting. I love those videos. There was acting. So people would grab scenes from Harry Potter and they would film their take of it, and they would insert themselves in a scene. Like, they would rewrite the scene, and instead of having the words from the movie, they would write captions for each character, and that was a really creative way to do it.
I remember seeing some of those videos. They're actually
exactly. So Draco Talk was a whole thing. You were on Draco Talk. There was Frog Talk, which is for real. It was just frogs. Frogs. Like, there's been weird waves.
That's kind of funny.
So as the viewer, you're not seeing the same thing forever, but you tend to be seeing the same thing at the moment. Like, if something is trending, if a subject is trending, if a type of TikTok is trending, you'll see a lot more of that. I think I'm losing you because you're lagging big time. No. Christopher. I do hear you. Yes, but you are lagging. Okay, we're good.
We're good. All right.
At least I still heard your voice. That was a good thing, because I was like, no, you do not do this to me again.
Not today. But we are good.
But yeah, there's all these different. So technically, as a consumer, you tend to see the same stuff. It's hard to show different things, and that's where the TikTok algorithm is also broken. Like, I'll follow people, and when I follow you, personally, I'm picky with my follows. Yeah. Because it's just my well-being, which I think we can touch upon too. Like, my social media well-being is very much, I follow people I want to see. I follow content I want. I don't do any of the toxic, I follow this person because I'm jealous. Like, a lot of Instagram is more of that. Like, you'll follow people and they're living the best life, and you're like, I'm missing out.
There's like a little part of like jealousy in Instagram.
Yeah, because you're like, man, I wish I could have that beautiful life, or that beautiful person in my life, or that blah 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 blah. Yeah. I don't follow people unless I have a genuine interest in their stuff. Same thing on Instagram. Like, I got rid of every pretty girl that I used to follow that lives in Hawaii. Like the girls, the models that live by the beach. Like, I used to follow all those accounts, and I was like, why the fuck do I torture myself seeing people I won't get with in places I won't live? I just unfollowed a bunch of people, and I only kept people I interacted with. I only keep people, and I'm the same with TikTok. Like, I follow accounts that I genuinely wish to see all their videos. And I think that's the way I see it. If I follow someone, I want to see all their videos. Whatever the video is, I've thought about them, like about following them, because I want to see what they do. If they try something new, I want to see it because I follow that person because I like the shit they do. Yeah. And TikTok is like, yes, but also they did something new. We're not going to show you that. And I'm like, no, you motherfucker. I want to see the new video, even if it's not something I usually watch, because I like this person.
Yeah.
And that's where the TikTok algorithm is really hard to break. And that's where it sucks sometimes, because I want to post content from our podcast, because this is easy to format. Our podcast, being a square and a square, is so easy to shove on top of each other, make it a podcast look for TikTok. And like, I could create a podcast up, like a TikTok for our podcast, but fuck, I don't want to start from zero. Like I've been more, and also I already work hard on my TikTok. I don't have the patience to work on two. You know, like I have a bunch of shit. We have our podcast on YouTube. I have Twitch. I have my TikTok. Like I'm not trying to create another account.
Yeah.
So I just want to post our podcast, like some skits, some little moments on TikTok. But if I do, TikTok goes, the fuck is this content? What do you want me to do with this? And I wish I could just say, show it to my followers. Like, just show it to them. Just, I don't know. At some point, 190,000 people decided they wanted to see my shit. Maybe show it to them.
Yeah.
Like, but the app's like, nah, man, I'm not sure that works that way. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. I posted something yesterday and it crashed automatically, because who gives a shit about that? Like it was yesterday I posted a clip because I made a really bold invite during the 24-hour stream where I was like, I was dressed in my post-apocalyptic dude. The fit was so good. I had braids. The makeup was sick. Like I just looked awesome. I really loved it. And so at some point I looked at the camera and I was like, you see this? Like if there's any casting directors seeing this, you see this? I want it. Like give me the gig. And I was being bold about it. And I was like, you know what? This would make a fun TikTok. Like make it a TikTok and see if it gets on someone's For You page. Like see if it gets on a director or an agent or just other people in the acting world. There's a bunch of actors on TikTok. I was just like, make it and see if it gets on their For You page. I made it. And because it's not the content I normally make, automatic crash. Crash. It wasn't a POV, a Seb Cafe POV that I film in the back of my kitchen, in my kitchen over there. Or it wasn't a me talking to the camera, just sitting like I do when I make my voicemails or my mental health things. So because it wasn't the videos I normally make, TikTok was like, what the fuck do you want me to do with this, my friend? I've been lucky because I think slowly I'm starting to get Twitch clips to be a thing in my page. Yeah. Because I think the Twitch clips I post tend to do okay now. Before it used to be if I'd post a really fun Twitch clip, right away it would just crash. And I was like, ah. But I've done it enough over time that I think I'm starting to train the app to be like, this is okay. This is his content too. That's the other side of the medal too. It's like there's a conversation about should you just post whatever and never look at numbers. I don't look at numbers. I do this interesting thing where like you can write up. So you know nothing about TikTok. Let me just show you what my
nope, not at all. But that was gonna lead me to ask you a question afterwards. But tell me what you got first.
You can do that too. So just what I do, because you'll see. I'm trying to show you, but you'll see like the number of views at the bottom. Okay. But what I do, because you can type a title for each thing, I tend to shove the title where you see the number because I don't want to care about the views. I don't give a shit. So I'll usually position it like, look at the top row. I'll position the title so that it blocks the number. So that I really don't see like my second row. I forgot to put titles, I think. But like I always do this. I always try to block it's like that's a legit thing I do to not see.
That I did see at some point. Like I remember reading that. I don't know if it was on one of these social medias that they stopped showing
Instagram
like, viewership.
Instagram doesn't. No, but that's not true. Instagram, yes, but they don't show it to others. They still show it to you. I can still see how many likes I have, but I don't give a shit. But you can still see it.
That's one thing I know that like a lot of people, obviously I guess they put their value in their viewership, so the amount of views that they get. So I know that was something that was very.
But I have no problem with people seeing how many views I have. I don't do this to hide it from them. I do this to hide it from me. From yourself. So that when I try a new video, when I post something, because I post things that I really want to post. If I post a Twitch clip, it's because I love Twitch. I really absolutely love streaming on Twitch. It's like my favorite thing to do. TikTok is where I'm big, and yet my favorite thing to do is hang out with the few people that come to my Twitch streams. Like that's my favorite thing to do. And So because I love it so much, I want to post clips because that's where I have the fun. Like I
Yeah.
have so many fun clips, and I'm like, man, I want to post it. So I started doing this just so I don't see the views. So I just post
Mm,
the clip, and I don't give a shit about stats. I don't look at
yeah.
numbers. I don't look at likes. I mean, I'll reply to comments, but like
Mm,
I don't pay attention to my stats whatsoever, my analytics, because I'm done fighting an algorithm that puts you in a box.
mm. So would you say, as opposed, for instance, to maybe some people would focus more on, like we talked about a little bit on viewership. I guess what you're looking for more out of these platforms is mostly like the community aspect of being able to share content and share your creativity with others, and to get that feedback as well as to what you're doing as well. I guess that's what you're more
Hell yeah.
inclined to
That's
look
exactly
at,
what
right?
it is.
Yeah.
Community is like, I didn't know. I made a video about community this week too. So it's
Mm,
perfect. Like 3 days ago, I think.
there you go.
Um, but community was exactly like the thing I didn't expect out of
Mm,
creating content on the internet. Um, it was like, it just came. It just happened on
mm,
its own. And it's a beautiful bunch of people. And like everyone just has a good time. We all share moments. It's a time where everyone's lonely. It's a time where
yeah.
everyone's at home. Yet we shared Halloween together. Like I was
Mm,
live for 24 hours on Halloween. And Halloween is normally celebrated, right? But
yeah.
because of the current situation in the world, well, we were a bunch of people celebrating Halloween together on the internet.
Yeah.
And I was genuinely live for 24 hours. So those people, if they just wanted to stop by for an hour, they could because they knew I'd be there.
Yeah.
And it was
And I
just
guess that's the fun part of it as well. Cause I was thinking about it too. I was like, why is it that maybe I'm not as active necessarily on certain platforms, when people do look for things like a community or people to share their experiences with, or
Mhm.
just have something that unites them in their discussions or in their perceptions and views of things. I was like, maybe me in life, well, I had at some point a football team, right? A squad of 80 players with whom I had that sense of community, right? And maybe social media is that thing that also does help build communities for people who may not be as inclined or as comfortable approaching people in certain contexts, in certain situations. Well, now you have a screen, and you have an area where you could share whatever thoughts you have with people who are common minded, you know?
Yeah, and like that too, like on top of having a community, I think social media is a place for the lonely. But
Mm,
like a community for the lonely is very possible.
yeah.
I have a lot of lurkers in my streams, in my community. I'm a big time lurker in everyone's
Yeah.
community. Like I enjoy it. Lurking to in case you don't know or if anyone doesn't know as a viewer or listener. A lurker is someone that usually will watch the content but not interact so much with chat. If it's live, if I'm live on TikTok, if I'm live on Twitch, or people that just don't leave much comments on YouTube on the videos and TikTok, but they just they're just there. They just enjoy the
Mm,
content without putting themselves out there so much because not everyone's comfortable with putting themselves out there. Um, and that's the beauty is like I'm a big time lurker. Like I have other streamers that are now my friends and I lurk in their chats all the time. I will literally just say hi so they know I'm there because we know each other. uh and then I'll just sit quietly and enjoy the stream,
mm,
enjoy the content, and I'm just there. And if they talk, I'll reply. Like if they still think I'm there and they'll say, hey Seb, are you still here, like blah blah blah, and ask a question, I'll reply in comments. But other
mm,
than that, I love lurking. Like I'm a big time lurker. And that's where social media and the internet is really good because as someone with like football friends with like you
yeah.
had a full team where it's like you have to be there, you have to interact.
Exactly. You have
There
to
is a
physically be there, and you're so
and
not to say obliged, but you're forced to be in a social setting,
yeah, yeah,
as
versus
opposed
like
to
this,
choosing one
like
necessarily.
you get the feeling of a social setting
Mm,
minus having to do it. If you're
yeah.
not someone that's comfortable with social settings, but you do want to enjoy someone's company, you can watch a stream quietly. You can
Yeah.
be alone with someone else.
Yeah.
You know,
That's true.
you're not so alone. I end up watching streams every night. I've watched more streams than I've watched movies this past few months.
Mm,
I'm always just watching streamers, even people I don't know. If I'm bored as heck, instead of looking for Netflix, like on Netflix for a show, I'll literally just go on Twitch and look up a bunch of streamers and just join a stream and lurk in there for an hour or two. And then I'm like, all right, cool, let's check out another. it's a fun time, and I don't know. There's like this beauty that happens with social media and in itself, and so I think that's why community is such it's so my focus of what I do.
Mm,
Like the content I make is very much for them, is very much for others, but also as a whole, I think it's experienced by the community.
mm,
I think it's even cooler when you make a video and instead of thinking I'm one person seeing this video, you're thinking we are a community seeing this video. And so in the comments, you end up looking for your friend's comment because you know they did comment in there.
yeah.
And if they haven't yet, you tag them because you're like, oh, this is you, like blah blah blah. Like it's just cool. It creates a new edge to the content.
Yeah.
It's not just you experiencing a video and me making a video and just getting views. It's me making a video for everyone to experience and
Yeah.
I don't know, come together.
There you go.
It's been a fun of it. But also, yeah, the algorithms in general. I mean, you know, it's a machine. You have to, I think it's one thing to complain about a machine. It's another to understand it. I just try to understand it before I complain. I do complain about it. Obviously, I have my qualms with with TikTok and with every platform I'm on. No platform is perfect. Otherwise, the others wouldn't exist. If there was such a thing as the perfect social media platform, every other one would have died. They all have their edge of being good.
Yeah.
TikTok is amazingly awesome for discoverability, for starting a thing, for getting discovered. I mean, you've known me. I've been on social media forever. I've been making YouTube content. I've been making Instagram content. I was on Snapchat before. Like, I did try Twitter, but fuck that. But like, I'd been on all these other social medias and I was making content. Like that's been what I wanted to do for years. But never did it kick off because no app had ever granted that power to anyone as much as TikTok has. TikTok said, discoverability is our key. Like this is where we succeed. And this is why TikTok is such a good app, because as a creator, you go, this app gives me a chance to be seen. I don't already have to have millions of viewers. I don't already have to have thousands of followers. I don't like it could be your first video and get 1 million views. Granted, it happens less now, but it could be your first video and get 1 million views. That's wild. That's like a dream. You'd be like, hey, it doesn't mean you should expect it, but it's a great opportunity. Where TikTok sucks ass is everything after that. TikTok gives you discoverability and then they shove you in a box. They don't help you make money. They don't help you sustain yourself. If I make a video that is where I get pissed off at TikTok. I make a video about merch, like telling you that you can get a beautiful, positive shit show merch. If I say the word merch in a TikTok, that TikTok gets cut. Like they won't even bother, which is like, you know, if you have a keyword tracker, like however their algorithm works, blah, 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 blah. If you have a keyword tracker for me telling you about my merch, then by all means, use this tracker to understand that maybe followers want the merch. Instead of saying he said the word merch, let's fail his video because it's not about this app and it's about external money and it's about bringing them to another side. In other words, they're not really pushing for creators to be able to sustain themselves. Because otherwise, this app would be powerful. If they let my video about merch be seen as much as they let every other video that I make be seen, I could obviously make a lot of money. And then everyone would. And that's dangerous to some. Like they have to give the views, but also you can't give everything, you know? There's a whole system at work here. But yeah, like use that system. Fine. I get it. Like you don't want to show it to a bunch of strangers. At least show it to my followers. I don't know. Like have a in your system that figures out that I said the word merch. Have it figure out that maybe followers want merch. Show it to them. Show it to followers because hey, you follow this guy. He has merch. Obviously, you might want some. Like, not that I'm mad. I don't care if I sell one T-shirt. I'm happy. Like I'm not trying to sell 1,000 T-shirts because fuck. That'd be insane. But it's also like I hate that I have to be subtle about the shit. I have to be sneak. I have to type merch M3RCH instead of MERCH.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for Twitch. I'll make a video telling people, hey, check me out on Twitch, on TikTok. I'll make a video for that. But I'll have to type Twitch differently because that I understand as an app, TikTok, their goal is to keep you on the app. That is a real thing. Every social media app wants you to stay on their app longer. And that's why a bunch of different algorithms are in play for one, getting you hooked, and two, making you not notice that you've been on the app before. There's a new update on Instagram. I'll tell you about it. Well, it's not new anymore, but the last update they did to the algorithm that tries to get you to scroll longer. But so pretty much they want you to stay on the app. So obviously my video telling people, hey, come check me out on Twitch involves people leaving the app. So those videos don't do so well because TikTok's like, why would we show this? We don't want to lose people on this app. We want people to stay on this app. Like, Instagram did a really sneaky. And what they did, their algorithm is already fucked in the order of the posts that you see. Like you would think, hey, I'm going to see the most recent posts from everyone. And that's what it used to be. And then when Facebook took over, they fucked that all up. And now you see whatever posts whenever. But what they'll do is if you're someone that goes back on the app a lot, normally it used to be that you would go back on the app and you would see the newer posts until you would reach the last post you saw the last time you were on the app. Now what they do to get you to scroll longer is first you get on the app, you'll see the new posts just the same. But instead of taking you to that post, let's say a scroll up and you would have been to that first post that you saw the last time you were on. And usually by that time people notice, oh, it's time for me to get off because I've seen everything.
Yeah, everything.
Now what they do is they'll show you strangers. They'll show you shit you don't follow. They'll show you things that they think you like based off of everything you've ever liked, that tends to be accurate. So you'll see a bunch of accounts you don't follow and you keep scrolling. You keep scrolling because you're not even aware that you've seen everything.
Yeah. And that's pretty crazy that they do those type of things. I remember watching well, not too long ago, probably most people have watched it as well on Netflix, Social Dilemma. I don't know if you watched it. You probably have. Of course I did,
dude. Day one, I had seen it.
And it does make you think about a lot of ways that, not to say that we're necessarily being controlled, but they want to make sure that we're on there as much as possible. And the fact that we're on there as much as possible, seeing certain reflections of reality that aren't necessarily reality, that also does kind of play on our way that we feel about ourselves. Like I'm talking more about certain videos or images that show like this ideal world or this ideal place to be and this ideal individual, and kind of how it plays on our feelings about ourselves and where we stand right there. And I think that all brings back to like an element of maybe why I'm less inclined to be on certain platforms, especially Instagram in my case, I guess, because I feel like it, as much as it does do good things in the sense that it does build a community, there are certain voices that you can now hear that you haven't been able to hear in the past. There's also that element of that fake reality that kind of I don't appreciate very much. And
for sure.
Like I just remember this comment that my girlfriend made not too long ago, because she's on Instagram and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I wish I was like where she's at the moment." I'm like, yes, the picture is probably beautiful. Yes, this person is beautiful, but there's so many other things that we haven't seen. Like this picture is like a part of their day. It's like maybe that 10 minutes that they took to take a beautiful picture, but afterwards you don't know what this person is learning. They might even not even be feeling the way that they say that they feel on the image as well. And for us, we only see the beautiful side of things, but we're not being shown the other part. Like it's like when you're waking up in the morning, you're not being shown like the monotonous things like brushing your teeth and stuff like that. You're always being shown like, oh, I'm outside on the beach enjoying this beautiful day. But there is another side to things that people don't see.
100%. And that's like, I think it comes down to a health. Like you need to go on social media with your own, like in a healthy manner.
Yeah.
That involves who you follow. Like that involves being picky about your follows, and genuinely like only following things that make you feel good about yourself or feel better about your life. I don't think it's worth it to follow an account that's living by the beach, living the best life. Obviously the fake bodies, the beautiful, full of makeup, sponsored by every sport company ever for their outfits.
Videos.
Exactly. It's like, I think it's important to know the difference.
Mm,
I was having a discussion too about makeup. Same thing.
mm,
Like you'll see for girls, like there's hair, there's makeup, there's all those accounts.
mm,
Um, and like the more I'm in this world, the more I get to meet people in this world, which is
mm,
interesting because I get to discover a lot of things from their experience. And, you know, I've met more people in the past few months that have been living off of sponsorships.
mm.
So like a company will reach out to a girl and say, hey, you make one video putting on our makeup and we'll give you $10,000.
Yeah.
And so it's a whole video about, you know, it's a video of someone putting makeup on. And then it's like, to be beautiful, you put this makeup on. And it's
Mm,
like, no, you are beautiful without it too. Yes, you can put this
yeah.
makeup on, but like the message isn't healthy, I don't think,
Mm,
because those people would just keep repping one product after the other and after the other and
yeah.
after the other. And like I'm someone that's trying to make money off of sponsors. I want to reach a point where I get sponsors.
Yeah.
I don't
I
want to
feel
make.
like there's like a point where you're like, do I like if you have to make a decision between, like I don't know how to really phrase it, but it's like
Mhm.
if you have to sometimes you feel like you have to like sell your soul in a sense to be able to
100%.
make that type of
You're like, why would I? I've turned down every sponsor approach so far. Every sponsor that approached me, I've had 3 or 4 sponsors approach me
Mhm,
in the short time that I've been on big on social media. I've had
mhm,
3 or 4 sponsors, and I've turned down every single one of them. For one thing, because I didn't see the value that brought to me, other
mhm,
than dollars, and it wasn't enough dollars for me to be like, yeah, of course. But even there, like even if someone's like, hey, here's 10 grand, first of all, I'd consider it a lot because 10 grand's a lot.
mhm.
But I would
True.
still be like, do I think I make videos for I make videos for my community.
Mhm,
I don't make a video for any other reason.
yeah.
I make videos because I know people need it. And
Mhm,
so I'd feel the same about a product that I pitch to people. I would make a video because I would feel that they need it. Unless I feel they need it, I have no reason at all to make that video.
mhm.
If it's and I'm like, I live a pretty minimal life. I'm not very approachable to brands, I guess, because of that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I still have like, obviously, hey, if you're a coffee brand and you want to approach me, goddamn, that's the best business.
Go ahead.
I make coffee on stream all the time. I drink coffee all the time. I like my whole theme is coffee. Like
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
I might as well. Um, but yeah, no, like other than coffee brands, I'm aware that not many companies can approach me just because of my things. But then again, mental
Yeah.
health, I don't know. A lot of people can approach for mental health,
Mhm.
well-being and all that. It's a whole
I guess
system of showing
yeah.
fake things and all that for like what is money, what is sponsors, what is fake, what
Yeah.
is real. But I think it ultimately comes down to the consumer. You need to be healthy about how you consume social media. You need to
Mhm.
follow people that do something good for you. Sometimes it involves content that's a little less pretty.
Yeah.
This is one of the good things about TikTok. One of the real good things about TikTok is people have learned to be vulnerable and
Mhm.
broken in front of a camera. The amount of crying videos you'll get on TikTok of someone just losing their minds and they need to express it and they'll make a video. And
Mhm.
on TikTok, it'll get seen. Like
Yeah.
it'll be okay. No one's showing you the perfect life the whole time. And if they are, you can call them out on their bullshit. I
Yeah.
can so easily tell when someone's full of shit on TikTok and I just go, all right, bye. Um,
Mhm.
but like you can tell where the people are real. I think that's why this is the place where I've succeeded versus everywhere else. On Instagram, I was never fake enough to make it on Instagram. I I didn't have that. I didn't have
Yeah.
that fake energy. I'm
You just
like,
want to be authentic, basically.
yeah,
Which is
I'm
I
here to
feel
be
is
me, and like this is where life is good. This is where life is healthy.
yeah.
When I show you that I'm good, but also when I'm not, I tell you, hey, right now I'm not, and that's the natural thing.
Mhm.
I don't show you my sweet life. I could show off this view. This apartment has the best view, and I
Mhm.
still don't. I'll show
Yeah.
my sunsets off maybe when it's the most beautiful sunset. But other than that, I don't have to show you this because I don't want you to think that you need this apartment. For one thing, I live in this apartment and I constantly think I want to move out of it. I
Mhm.
love it. But there's little silly things. Like right now, I have to have every single curtain in this apartment shut, and I have blackout curtains in front of my eyes just for lighting. So it's silly, right? I live in a beautiful apartment in a high rise with a view that is not obstructed by anything.
Yeah.
Floor to ceiling windows, and I managed to find a way to complain because I'm like, yeah, but lighting for stream, man. Like, fuck, it sucks. God damn it. And that's why, like, I don't try to show off the view, because I don't want people to think if I have this apartment, I made it. Because I have the
Yeah.
apartment and I don't feel like I made it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a weird thing. And I
Yeah.
think that's why I never made it on Instagram.
Mm.
Like
That's
now,
that's I feel that's why I like I said initially, I guess I have more issues with Instagram just due to that fact that it's I don't know, once again I'm not on it, so I don't have the
mhm.
best vision of it as well. But
Honestly,
I feel
you
like it
possibly have a
lacks
more realistic vision of it because you're not
yeah,
blinded
it's
by anyone's.
yeah, exactly. I would just say that I thought it was less like nuanced, maybe in the sense that it just presents one angle of things and sometimes lacks that other angle. Kind of like what you were saying, right? When you were presenting your apartment, yes, you're in a beautiful place as well, but that's not the only thing that you're showing, right? And you're showing yourself in maybe a more vulnerable situation. You're also talking about, as much as you had good days, you elaborate on bad days as well, which is something I feel isn't necessarily elaborated as much. Maybe now more than
Mhm.
before, but maybe I don't think to the extent that it should be yet.
Yeah,
There's always space. There's always place for improvement, anyways, for
yeah.
for anything. Yeah. So I think that's maybe one element that needs to be improved as well. But like I said, once again, I'm not really on it. Maybe it's gotten better, but I think that's one thing that kind of like turns me off from social
Hmm.
media in general. It's just it presents to you something that isn't necessarily real, and that doesn't really align with what actual life is
Hmm. I
for
think you,
most people. Once
I
again,
think you'd find your enjoyment on TikTok to some extent. You would
mm.
find the content that you like because TikTok is very like you can find things that work for you and no one else.
Mm.
Like that's why it's such an addictive platform too. Is that every single person has found their place within TikTok.
Yeah,
Um, but I totally get it, and that's exactly what it is. It's like, well, there's two ways about it. Do I just fucking delete every account that I've ever had and then just live a sweet life, which honestly sounds heaven. Like it sounds
yeah,
like absolute heaven. Um, like just hey, delete every social media account. Just live your life.
yeah.
That's the beauty, and that's where the secret is. But
Mm.
it's like it doesn't have to be so black and white too. Like
Yeah.
there is a really good healthy way of that's our time. Oh my gosh, really?
Oh
That's
gosh,
I think
already.
that's the first time that we legit blah 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 blah. We'll go for a bit more, but
Yeah,
we'll do like a little
we
outro.
can. We can. Yeah.
Um, but I think like overall, anyway, I think that's the thing is it black and white? Do I have to absolutely delete everything, or can I be healthy about it? And I think you can be healthy about who you choose to follow, who you choose to, the content you choose to consume, but also your
Mm.
vision of that content. Like I will never go after someone if they have a sweet life.
Mm.
If someone's living my dream life, most likely I don't follow them unless there's someone I really appreciate for everything else.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking at their content thinking I wish I had that life. I'm looking at their content thinking I like this person,
Mm.
and that's where the key is. If you, it's almost in like it's in the people you keep in your life, and the content you follow is very much the same, right? I have
Mm.
friends that I feel good about. I don't have a friend that makes me jealous about life. And if I did, I wouldn't want that as a friendship because it's very toxic, it's very negative, and
Yeah.
it's very like, oh, you're getting the life I wish I had. And you still resent to some extent, you know? And it's the same. Social media is your friends. The people you follow are almost your friends. Like, as in,
Mm.
you are taking from the people you follow, you're genuinely taking you're learning and kind of mirroring some behaviors from who you
Yeah.
follow, just
Definitely.
like
They're
you
they're
would a
kind of like
friend.
not to say role models, but they are in a sense they have a certain influence on you.
Yeah,
You know.
that's why they're influencers.
Exactly.
That's another thing too. I do like the word influencer now. I hate the word influencer when I'm thinking it's just someone trying to get free food. And be like, I'm an influencer with like a million followers. So if you let me eat at your restaurant tonight,
I'll
I'm
totally.
I'm sorry for whoever I just imitated. I apologize, but I do love the
Yeah.
word influencer because I have a good influence on people.
Mm.
It warms my heart every day that if I open an app, if I open Instagram or TikTok and I look at my DMs, there's at least one person a day, telling me, "Thank you for your video. I needed it. It hit me at the right time, and I'm ready to not give up on life." And then that's where influence is to me. That's
Yeah.
that's that's where my influence is. That I get to have a message like that I And it's hard. Like it's hard to handle receiving some messages. They're really rough sometimes because people want to share things. And I'm like, I get it, but I'm also an empath and I try to separate from that. But it's still at its core is a beautiful thing that someone will take the time to send me a message and say like, thank you for the stuff you do. And then I'm like, am I an influencer? Like, this is a really good thing. Like, as in like, I feel like I have an influence and, you know, if I don't know, I'm now in love with the influencer word. I do like thinking I'm an influencer in the good way of influence.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, so, but those are two different things. You have the influencer that's actually a good influence, and you have the influencer that's just telling you to buy this makeup and this bra and this blah, 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 and this swimsuit. And the list goes on. But once again, that's social media. You have it all. Yeah. You have from A to Z, you have it all. You have the crazy shit that makes you jealous and makes you think I want this life and I'm not living this life and blah, 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 blah. And it's the same on YouTube, the vloggers, the travel vloggers, blah, 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 blah. You know, and I'm someone that makes content on, well, no, I mainly just make this podcast on YouTube now. I need to make more content, but like it's work. That I also don't know what people want to see. But that's YouTube is like a fucking mystery to me. If there is an algorithm, I don't know how it works. And the biggest creators don't know how it works right now. The biggest people on YouTube, people that will post a video, and whether the video does good or not, they'll have 1 million or multiple millions. And they still are saying, I don't get it. So my little tiny account, I ain't even trying to figure it out. Fuck this. I'll just post. And if people want to see it, they'll see it. Anyways, it's on TikTok.
I kind of see it as two perspectives in the sense that you're obviously, like you say, you're an influencer, a creator, and I'm more of a consumer on my part. And I guess, you know, to kind of say what you said is basically on your part to have some sort of, responsibility in the sense of what you put out there. Because like you said, you have the power to influence people. So if you do influence them in a positive way, and I guess on my part too is to kind of evaluate, just like you do in a relationship with your significant other, for instance, to evaluate your relationship with social media as well. I think that would be a fair way to see it as well. And like you said, to know who you're following and to understand what's their intent. You know, some of them is to actually help, to actually share their creations and other things like that. And others is to sell stuff that you don't really need so that they can make money, you know? So,
but also like, we're not hating. I'm not hating because here's the thing. I want to live off of sponsors. Like I for one thing, I don't want to live off of my followers. Like I don't want, they've been very generous, like with Twitch, right? You'll receive donations and support from your community. And it's a lovely, lovely, lovely thing. But I keep telling them, I want to get to a point where I can get sponsors and I don't need a single donation. Like it's never been a requirement. It's still not a requirement for people to be generous whatsoever. The content's free. You show up on Twitch, whether you say hello or not, or give something or not, content's going to be the same. It's going to be my dumb face for a whole stream. Like that's what it is. And so like, obviously I'm not hating on people getting companies to pay them money to rep their products, but also it's like I think, because that's a beautiful take too, as like, I'm a creator, you're a consumer. Another fun thing I think is like, I'm an aware consumer as well. Like, so I'm a creator, but before I was a creator and still as a creator, I'm very much a consumer. I still consume all the time. I watch streams, I watch TikToks, I consume just as much as I create, if not more. I really consume more than I create. I create one video a day, you know? I consume millions, well, not millions, but I consume a fuck ton of videos a day. I spend a lot of hours on TikTok and a lot of hours on Twitch. And it's okay. And as a consumer, but it's funny because as a different take too, as a creator, I personally like to, it's almost like a real life thing. I send out energy as a creator. I send out content. And that's how sorry for that burp. I'm really sorry.
It's all good.
But as a creator, the first video I ever had that had an influence was a negative one. My video was about complaining. And then I was like, wait, is that what I want to send out to thousands of people? Because I was thinking about their experience of a social media. And I was like, what do you feel if, listen, you and I, let's say we hate one thing. and I know you hate it. And so I make a video complaining about it. You're also going to feel me. You're going to say, fuck, I feel you, dog. This shit's so true. And you're going to get in it too. And you're going to get infuriated too. And the reality is like, is that the energy I want to send out? Do I want to make everyone? I know everyone's pissed off about this. Everyone's going to be pissed off about daylight savings. The sun's going down so fucking early. But am I going to make a video about it? If so, I was considering making a video about it, but if so, in the good way. I'm not going to make a video saying, fuck, I hate it. I'm going to make a video saying, here's how we can deal with it. Because if something's shitty and you just point it out, I have some creator friends that I've seen fall down already, like fall off. It's really a weird business to be in. And it's weird that I know all these things, these insider things now. But I've genuinely had like creators that I've seen fall off, like the content, because they made a lot of negative content for some time because they felt like they needed to express it. And then they weren't happy because everything they made was negative. The influence they had was negative. And when they got back on the app after taking a break, it was still negative. And they were like, I want to get back to positive this. How do I do this? And I was like, well, the truth is, as a content creator, you have that power in the content you make. If you send out a positive energy, this is what you'll get. This is what you'll see on the app. If you send out a negative energy, what do you think you'll get and you'll see on the app? Even when you come back a month later after you took a break because you needed it, the truth is you as a creator have that power to have that impact on your followers. Your direct followers, the people that are most likely going to see your content, if they see you for complaining and if they like that, maybe they are also trying to complain. Maybe that's what they'll think in the future. Maybe that's what they'll want to do in the future. That's why I never fight comments. Like if I'll get some hate comments. I mean, no one's safe from that, and that's totally fine. Whenever I get a hate comment, I don't even bother deleting. I just go, cool, and move on. You get enough comments. Fuck, even if I had only 3 comments on a video and one of the 3 was a hate comment, I just would ignore it. Because why would I take a second to reply to a comment that's negative and send out that energy and feed the negative? You don't feed it. You just don't feed it. And so it's very much a responsibility as a creator, but it's a responsibility as a consumer that when I understand someone's whining and I feel them, I still, to some extent, tell myself, don't go into this. Like, don't get into the complaining. Don't get into the negative thing.
Don't fall into that pit.
And it's just a question of awareness. And I think social media in general falls into a question of awareness. Be aware of the things you consume. Be aware of the social media. You know, it's very much food for your brain. Be aware of the things you consume on social media, and you'll have a good experience. It'll be a great time. And fuck, you might have a new life at some point, you know? Do you have some final thoughts, Chris?
Well, that was pretty good, but I don't know, just to, I guess, summarize all that, I'll quote Uncle Ben from Spider-Man, which is with great power comes great responsibility. So, you know, on that end, on both ends, you know, you realize that you have certain a certain power over certain individuals, and to acknowledge that you have it, to understand it, that's one thing. But also from the consumer's end, to understand his relationship that he has with social media, right? And to look into that as well, and to make sure that it's healthy, because it has the power to do good just as much as it has the power to do bad. But you have to be able to separate those things.
Nice. Well, that's very lovely. On this note, have a good time on social media, everyone. Be sure to do it well for you. Take care of yourself as you do it. Whenever you need to disconnect. And whenever you do connect to good things that are good for you and have a good impact on you. That's what I'm going to say. And that's what I'm going to leave all of you on. So see you next week.